Hey guys, Jared Codling here, new hack every week, and today we're going to talk about gamifying your marketing. So how I get insane click-through rates like you've never seen before. I'm going to show you some of the results, but more than that, I'm going to show you the methodology. And this is actually a really fun part of marketing, but you do have to be a little bit creative. Not saying you can't outsource some of that, but you really got to think outside the box on this one, as cliche as that sounds. Also, sorry I'm so late in the week. I'm really pushing this to the end of the week. As I mentioned in one of my posts, when I'm working out these hacks, about 40% of the time the hack doesn't work. And now I could literally spend days, hundreds of dollars on developers trying to get a hack working. And that was the case this time. And we just literally got to the point where we could not make the hack work. And so then that was like earlier in the week. And then it's like, okay, well, now I got to like come up with another hack. And so what's funny is this hack that I'm showing you right now, it's one that I'm actively doing right now. This is how I'm making money right now. And so I can't show you some of my creatives, but I can show you some. So where I've got a business partner on something, I can't show the creative because it's just unfair to them. And I can't have somebody just directly copying my creative because, just to be honest, those projects make more money than I make from new hack. So I can't risk that. But that's why they're good too, because they actually make money. So I'm only teaching you shit that actually works. And you're getting stuff that's working right now. So, you're going to be able to work it out from what I'm showing you. You're going to totally be able to work out creative ways to use this in your marketing if you want to go deep on this. And it's really not that hard. So Nick, my housemate, got his lead cost using this method. Got his lead cost from like in the 30s down to $6 or something like that, just by implementing this and just some small changes, by gamifying what he's doing to make it a fun experience for the user. And so let's get into it. So firstly, what is gamification? So firstly, I say it's like make stuff interactive like a game. Secondly, it increases engagement. So it's ways of increasing engagement by getting the user to interact in an enjoyable way. So the end user it's not like they're just clicking on an ad, now they're interacting with an ad. They're not just taking an action on a website, they're actually participating in something in an engaging, slightly random, curious kind of way. So there's some level of curiosity to all of this. And this leads to better click-through rates, engagements with your posts, more time on site if you're doing this stuff on site. If you get this right, if you nail it, and yes, it takes some testing like anything else, but if you get this right, it's what really makes you stand out from everybody else in the marketplace. Because this concept, I don't see many people doing it. Some are. I've got to show you an example of somebody who's doing a great job, but see, they're not combining it with other hacks. It's when you stack hacks together, you get the best result. So just one note, there's like another level to gamification, such as say McDonald's Monopoly. And these are long plays and definitely worth it. So you can do large scale campaigns that are integrated into your business model where it gamifies your experience. That's awesome. Do it. I'm not going to get into that right now though, because what I'm going to show you is stuff that you can actually go and do straight away. The easy wins and the stuff that I'm actually doing right now as well. I only want to show you stuff that either I'm doing or I'm learning directly from somebody. So first example. This one here is not one that I run. It's one that I found. And it's just so good. So what they do, they have a Facebook post and it's just this looping. And you can imagine you can do this with any kind of product. You can do this with anything, right? And then the text around it is pretty much, the way they do it isn't the best way you can do it. So I'll just loop that again. So as you can see, the idea is to get the user to stop at the right time. And it's quite difficult, which means that they're going to have multiple goes at it. Which means they're going to be engaged. So they're going to try it. By the time they actually make it land on it, they're so engaged that they'll take the next step that you've asked them to take. So how I think the best way to run this, they're not running it at this level. They're basically saying, take a screenshot and we'll hook you up with a free sample or something like that. Anyway, the right way to do it is like this. Firstly, tell people to take a screenshot of you sticking it and post it into the competition. So we're trying to get them to take a photo, screenshot of them actually landing it. Now, this is obviously optimized for mobile. This is what we're going for. And a lot of what we do is mobile. Honestly, mobile is what works these days, especially with this kind of stuff. So take a screenshot, you stick it, and comment that to enter the competition. Use ManyChat to bot this. So as soon as they upload that photo, now, yes, ManyChat can't distinguish between whether they've uploaded a photo or they've commented. But let's just assume that they commented the photo. Because for most people, that's going to be correct. And for the 10% of people that didn't, they're not going to be pissed off that they've now entered the competition. Run it as a viral competition. So you say, hey, look, you've entered the competition. That's awesome. But for every friend you tag in the competition, you get an extra entry. So we literally just use the viral competition method mixed with this gamification. And I'm telling you right now, that's a home run if your product is right. If your product sucks, then, well, I mean, there's nothing we can do right. So that's the best way to kind of take that concept of, stop it on the right spot, get her to take a screenshot. It's like this huge level of interaction. So with gamification, the more hoops you make someone jump through, the more likely they are to follow future hoops. So if they're making a commitment to playing your game and getting involved in what you're doing and taking the specified action, then they're going to be far more likely to be committed to following through and taking the next action. So those micro commitments stack into momentum, and that momentum is what leads them to the result. And this is how they get you addicted to games. And we're really just doing the early stage of gamification, but yeah, it works at this level. Now I'm going to show you like another example. This one is very similar. I've made this one custom for new hack people, just so you guys can see this is what I'm doing right now. This is my whole. I'm doing this in heaps of different niches too. So I'm doing this in mass market. I'm doing this in mortgages. I'm literally doing this in mortgages. How crazy is that? That I'm gamifying shit for mortgages, and it's working. It's got my lead cost down, and it's just cool. I'm doing this in a political niche, which I'm having trouble getting ads approved because Facebook's kind of funny about that right now. But this works in so many different niches. So I'll just play it, and the idea is this is Instagram stories. So it comes out and it's like, which discount card will you win? It can be any kind of prize, any kind of giveaway, I'll give you some examples, but the idea is we're saying swipe up to find out. We're trying to get them to pull this lever and swipe up. Because with Instagram stories, the objective is to get someone to swipe up. And Facebook are approving these. I'm not having any issues. I've gone through the terms of their ads, and they've got no problem with this. So Instagram stories are also very cheap because nobody's nailing them. If you think about it, compared to a normal ad, an Instagram story is actually a really bad buy. So if they're the same price, it's a really bad buy. Because an Instagram story is 15 seconds max, and after it's done, they're on to the next story. It doesn't loop. It doesn't stay in front of them. Once it's done, it's done. And if they don't take the action within the 15 seconds, it's no good. So what happens is advertisers don't really want to advertise that. The other thing is they've got to make a creative as well. They've got to make a creative that fits 15 seconds, and it fits this vertical format, which is 1080 wide by 1920 high. So that's actually quite difficult for a lot of marketers to get something that will work in that format and actually get an ROI, because it's just it's so specific. And how do you make someone take action in 15 seconds? What that leads to is really cheap CPMs. So the CPMs that I'm experiencing in Instagram stories are at least half price, but often even way cheaper than that because there's so much inventory. The other thing is I can scale very quickly because they've got like all this unused inventory. Whereas Facebook ads in a mobile desktop feed, a mobile feed, or anything like that, they're actually they're full. So you're competing with everybody. So this is the Wild West right now. We can kind of get on there and they'll kind of approve anything and super cheap CPMs, but you've got to make a format that works. And this gamified angle, I'll just show it one more time. It's like this. You're trying to get them to swipe up. You're giving a heap of curiosity. Like what is the discount card or the gift card that they're going to win? Now, that's not the only format that you can make this work, but as you can see, I'm giving very clear indications of what they need to do, what action they need to take. They need to grab that handle and drag it to the top. It's very simple instructions. You've only got 15 seconds. You've got to convince them really quickly. What's the results though? So I can't show you the campaign. I've got a business partner on this, and I mean, this is just such a big win for us. So I can't show you the exact campaign, but from what I've shown you, you can totally go replicate this. So as you can see, we got 9,000 landing page views for $250. So that's just insane. So yeah, I don't have the cost per click there. The cost per click is like 1 or 2 cents. It's like 1 or 2 cents per cost per click. Because and why is that? The CPM is so low and the CTR is so high. So the CPM is so low, firstly, because it's Instagram stories. Secondly, because of the insane CTR, we have the highest relevance score, I'm sure, of anybody. I know nobody's getting CTRs like this. Nobody. And I've been able to do this multiple times as well. This isn't a once-off. This is what I'm working on right now actively, and I'm just creating more and more gamified ads because they're fucking killer. And my CTR is 25%. This is not a small sample size. This is thousands of people. This is like almost 10,000 people on that campaign. I've gone nuts with this. So and that's in USA as well. This is not in India or something. This is in the USA, and this is on a 10% lookalike audience. So it's quite broad, but it's still USA. So that's what's crazy here. Can't show you the niche or anything like that, but you don't need it. Honestly, I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing. So the Instagram Stories method, let me deconstruct it. Firstly, it's gamified reason for them to swipe up. You got to give them a reason to swipe up. There's got to be some level of curiosity or some reason for them to swipe up. Secondly, a 15-second clip. So you've got to max it out. As I say, it doesn't loop. It's Instagram Stories. It moves on to the next story. So you need to take it to the full 15 seconds. Like go 14.9 seconds. You know what I mean? That's what I do. Get a voiceover from Fiverr.com telling them swipe up to find out, or whatever your CTA is. So you just get somebody, get it in the native country and accent of where you're targeting, and just get them to tell them what to do. Like swipe up to find out how much you can save on your mortgage. I literally just recorded it myself and made it work, and I'm not a voiceover artist by any means, and it still works. And reveal just enough to pique their curiosity. So the thing is, as they grab onto it, they're going to swipe it up reasonably quickly. They might try swipe it and see what happens. I mean, at the end of the day, the results don't lie. I'm getting 25% CTR. Like, I don't know anybody who can claim that at scale. Like, so just, make sure it's a good enough, curious enough kind of deal to make them do it. So Fiverr.com, if you haven't used it, I'm sure most of you have, but Fiverr.com, Fiverr with 2 R's, I paid about $10 to get a better voiceover artist. Check out their profile, get them to do a few takes as well, because what you're trying to get them to say is only 15 seconds. Get them to say it 4 times, because then you just use the best one. The other thing is, let's say it takes them 4 seconds to say what they're saying, loop it or say it in different ways. That's what I do. So it might be 4 seconds, and then I chuck in. They just say it over and over and over again for the 15 seconds. You just get them repeating it, but don't just loop it. You're better off getting them to say it in multiple times in slightly different ways or different tonality or something like that. And that's what is working really well for me. So combining all of that together, that's what works. And so some ideas for Instagram Stories gamification. A slider, like how much can you save? I do that in the mortgage space. And it's got a sliding scale kind of thing. A scratch ticket, like a scratchy kind of thing. Peel up to reveal. Not to give Nick's creative out, but Nick's doing that and it's killing it. Nick, my housemate, who was one of the early new hack members. And then drag the X to the Y. So, you know what I mean? Drag the mouse to the cheese. It doesn't matter. Just something to make them swipe up. And you'll get the crazy CTR. And it's going to be intentional too. You obviously got to make sure that your copy is in line, and when they get to your landing page, it's what they expected to get to. They're finding something out. You're telling them, swipe the X to the Y to get X, to get Z. And then you've actually got to deliver that, or they're just going to bounce. But our bounce rate on this kind of stuff is actually really reasonable, because we're quite transparent about what they're going to find out when they get to the landing page and they've swiped up. Full disclosure note, I did this on Snapchat. I got 500,000 swipe ups in a day at a 30% CTR. I got banned. They fucking hate this shit. They didn't tell me I'm banned. They're just rejecting all my ads. And I don't think anybody's buying 500,000 swipe ups in a day and getting that kind of, you know what I mean? I'm an outlier. The management team would have found out about it. So I don't know. Anyway, we got banned. But it's not a hard ban, and they've been talking to us, and they're going to unban us, and they're going to fix it. The thing is, Snapchat, read the rules. Just read the rules. But we made over $10,000 in a day. So, we're not too cranky about it. But yeah, they're going to unban us. And you just really got to look at the compliance rules, right? And this is the big thing. Instagram right now will let you do this shit. Snapchat won't. Snapchat won't let you animate in telling them to swipe up. You can have it say swipe up, but it's got to be static text. You can't have non-functional attributes within a ad. So what I mean by that is I can't have a handle for that curtain to pull it up in a Snapchat ad, because it looks like a functional element, but it's actually not. They don't allow you to do that. Instagram does. So I'm not saying that you can't make this stuff work on Snapchat. It's actually, Snapchat's fucking amazing for ads right now, and you should totally be practicing on there and testing it out. Huge opportunity, but you got to play by their rules. And so you got to come up with ways to do it that are compliant and still try to get an amazing result. And I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. And that's something that I'm working out right now. Is how do I achieve this gamified experience without going as hardcore as what I'm able to do with Instagram Stories. Let's talk about a bit of on-site stuff, because I know a lot of you guys you got shops and stuff like that. There's a Shopify plugin called Spin a Sale, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have been hit with this. So it's reasonably cheap, and it basically says, win an exclusive prize, chuck in your details, and you get to spin the wheel. It could be rigged, I don't know. For WordPress, WP opt-in wheel is an alternative. Appsmav.com, they've got they've got this like scratch ticket kind of thing. So what it does is it basically shows them the scratch ticket first, and then it says, do you want to play? Then it grabs their details, and then they get this, and they get to scratch and win. To be honest, it's not that good, but it's gamified enough that people will do it. You can put it in your tab on your Facebook page, and you can even have that as your default tab, so that you're capturing leads via your Facebook page, and you can have it so that when somebody likes your page, they see that. Just a note, you do need 2,000 likes before you can add this as a custom tab in a Facebook page. And that's it, guys. I mean, just a few notes. Firstly, think outside the box. Like, I know that's super cliche, but like you really need to think outside the box here. I'm showing you creatives that are pretty fucking awesome, but you need to come up with what's going to work in your vertical. And I've told you examples and what I'm doing, but I obviously just can't show you my exact ads because I really can't have people competing with me straight up using the identical creative. Think outside the box because I've given you enough here that you can work it out. Don't just blindly try copy my campaigns, just try to innovate because you learn from the testing. So it's not like every creative I do sticks. That's just not the case. Testing and trying out different creatives to suit your market is where it's at. And just test. So when it clicks, you make bank. And it's really, it's amazing the results that you can get. I've never seen anybody get those kind of click-through rates at scale. I've never seen anybody get anywhere close. Back with my Canvas hack, I was so happy to get over the 10% mark. Now I'm hitting 25s and 30s. It's just unheard of. And it all comes down to gamification and using creatives that basically incentivize the user to swipe up, and it looks like a functional element if you're doing Instagram stories. And run with it, guys. Run with it. Get creative. I hope I get hit with some of your ads because this is just a better ad experience for everybody. It's better for the end user. It's actually fun. It's great for you because you've got an extreme edge because I'm telling you right now, because you're out there getting hit with ads, nobody's doing this shit. It's very rare. And so when they do it, it works. I'm doing it. It works. So good luck with it, guys. And any questions, just drop them in the comments.